Hello, hello. It is Sarah Waggle, astrologer and leadership coach for Wellness Astrology. Sorry, I did not realize I didn't have my second earbud in. So that's how we're starting off this recording session. Okay. All right. Happy birthday to all of the 29-degree Aquarians, including me. This is my birthday. I get a pretty legit solar return here with the moon in Scorpio, and Mercury in Pisces. My natal Mercury is in Pisces. This is why I think weird, or at least that's my justification for thinking weird. So happy birthday to the 29-degree Aquarians and the 0-degree Pisces folks. And happy birthday to all of the Pisces. I have lots of Pisces friends. Okay, so the moon's in Scorpio. This is February 18th and 19th. Sun moving into Pisces, and the sun signs will be coming out shortly. But I am feeling through all of the crazy energy of Pisces. But here's what I'm going to say. This is going to be a wicked, wild ride. Like Pisces is the depths of the ocean, right? Ruled by Neptune, co-ruled by Jupiter. I think Jupiter is the traditional, Neptune's the modern ruler. Neptune's at home in Pisces. The moon, however, is at fall. Jupiter is in detriment. Mars is at fall. What else? Mercury is at fall or detriment. Venus is at fall, is at detriment. Geez, I can't keep all the falls and detriments straight. The point is that most of the planets are not in their happiest places, particularly for the first few hours of the Scorpio moon. Luckily, it's happening at like between 7 p.m. Monday night and into like 6 a.m. Central Time Tuesday morning. So mostly we won't feel it. And then the sun will move out of Aquarius and into Pisces, alleviating a little bit of it. But the point is that this could feel very slow, very lethargic, very emotional, very dark. You could just have like a lack of energy. But here's what I'm going to say about Pisces season in general is that this is the mode. This is where we're starting, and it's not going to alleviate particularly. Yes, Mars is going to station direct in a week. Yes, things will change, but for the most part, because as soon as we get Mars direct, Venus will then go retrograde. Eventually Mercury is going to go retrograde. Then we're into eclipses. So this is what astrologers have been talking about for a decade, is this month ahead or 2 months ahead of all of this change. This is pretty huge. So buckle up, Buttercup, because it is going to be a turbulent ride. And as I have said so many times this year, transformation is not an option. It's the year of the snake. There's several outer planets changing signs. Transformation is not an option. You've got to make some change. So if you do not like change, or you are stubborn or resistant to change, stubbornness is just resistance. What the hell are you afraid of? Why are you so resistant to change? I get it. Things are out of whack, out of order. I understand that isn't going to shift anytime soon because the more planets change signs. So, we'll have the Mars station direct, but he still isn't going to, get in a good position until Leo, which isn't until April, I think. So, we're not going to have a lot of motivating energy for quite some time. And so it really is a time to kind of just sit still, trust your inner guidance system. And if you are not familiar with your inner guidance, if you are not familiar with how to listen to your intuition or your divine guidance, your higher self, and all of now would be a good time to figure that out or start learning or start practicing. Get quiet, get still, get silent, turn your damn shit off. Okay, I'm getting a little harsh here because it's like this is it. If you do not trust your higher self, your inner guidance, your guardian angels, all of that, you're going to fight, and you don't want to fight, because the more you fight against this energy, the just tougher. And like it's kind of like that Chinese finger game, where two people put their finger into like a socket thing. I've never actually done this, but like the harder you try to pull it apart, the tighter the grip gets. That's how this is going to feel. is it's like a vice grip, and the harder you try to pull to resist it, the tighter the grip is going to get on you. So anyway, that sounded really harsh, but all of that to say, like, this is a Pisces season. You're going to want to be attentive to what you're doing, how you're showing up, how you're responding or reacting to situations. Get clear with yourself, because there's not a lot of clarity in the cosmos, and as above, so below. Below there, as above, there's not a lot of clarity in the cosmos. There's not a lot of clarity what's going on in the world right now. You're going to have to find it within yourself and find it with your inner guidance system. So, anyway, all right, let me show you the chart. I feel like people like that a little bit better. I don't necessarily need to, but I'm gonna. So hold on one sec. Already. So this is the chart. The moon's at 17 degrees of Scorpio. And like I said, this is a dark situation. This is on February 19th, so Wednesday, when the moon is at 17 degrees of Scorpio. I did that on purpose because that's when it trines Mars in Cancer. But it's also going to make one heck of a trine to pretty much everything in Pisces at some point in its journey. And so, it's one of those, like, there's a lot of water here with the, and it's not a lot of like stable water, because it's Mars in a not so happy spot. It's the moon in a not so favorable spot, Mercury in a not so favorable spot. Saturn's probably the only one, and Neptune, that are actually happy where they are right now. And those are, Saturn and Neptune are like oil and water, right? Neptune being the water, Saturn being oil. And I mean that as much literally as metaphorically. If you think of oil and water, they're opposites, right? They don't mix well together. Saturn is disciplined, Neptune has no boundaries. So Saturn is all about the boundaries and Neptune's not. So they don't mesh well together. And as this year plays out, they're going to get closer and closer, and they'll dance in a conjunction till early next year. So we're going to continue to feel that energy for a hot while. But just looking at this chart, like, yeah, it's a trine and it's a water trine, so it's emotional. It's grief. Mars is stationary. He stations just direct in a few days here. This is digging at, it almost feels like salt in the wound. Like, it's digging at wounds. It's digging at, just the darkness of us all, like, ugh, but it's also that opportunity. Like, you kind of feel like everything is stagnant, and everything is uh, motionless, but it's also like trusting. This is what I'm saying about the higher power. I know I'm getting a little tough love here, but I feel like this is necessary right now. Is that you've got to learn how to trust. You've got to learn some gratitude. You've got to learn to feel your emotions, express your emotions, all of the things, right? You hold that shit inside you and it just turns into shit clogging up your bowels, right? And since we're talking about Scorpio, that's perfectly appropriate. um because Scorpio is about like bowel movements, urination, and those sorts of things. And so it's perfectly appropriate to talk about, like, if you don't feel your feels and feel your emotions and find some way to tune into higher frequency emotions, joy, happiness, content, alignment, enlightenment, gratitude, all of those things. If you're a constant Debbie Downer complainer, the world sucks, it's going to continue to suck, everything that the current administration is doing to tear things apart is fucking up everything. Is it? Because I don't know that it is. I think that, Pluto was in Capricorn for 15, 16 years. These restructures have to happen, and they're going to happen. We're not going to like it, but some people didn't like it before. So you've got to understand that there is like a duality here. Appropriate that it's Pisces season, duality. Anyway, so feel your feels, cry some things out, get angry if you need to, take it out appropriately, but get real with yourself. Are you really presenting yourself as the person that you really want to be? And if you're not, then nothing in this moment in time is going to change for you to be that person. So you're going to have to do it yourself. You are going to have to do it yourself. You're going to have to learn how to tread the water. You're going to have to learn how to swim. You're going to have to learn how to allow your body to be buoyant so you can float. When all else fails, lay on your back and let the water carry you. If you don't know how to swim, if you don't know how to tread water, right? This is the ultimate, like, no one's coming to save you. This is water and you're out there and there's like nothing. So anyway, all in all, though, I don't know that I like this transit. This is a tough moon to work with, moon and Scorpio to work with. It's, a lot of a water chart. It's a lot happening, but not happening, if that makes sense. So it's kind of a lot of trust and just having faith, that this is all gonna be okay. It's just gonna take its time to be okay. What was the story about the guy who was like in his house that was flooding and he had to like climb to the roof and like several boaters came by to offer their assistance and he kept turning them away saying that God would save him, God would save him, God would save him, and eventually he drowned and like went to heaven and he asked God like, why didn't you come and save me? He's like, I sent 3 boaters to you and you didn't take it. Anybody know what story I'm talking about? That's kind of where we are right now. Like, just because you're not seeing the rescue ship or the rescuer team, you're not getting the hot firefighter to save you, or the hot paramedic to save you, doesn't mean you're not being saved by somebody who cares for you, who wants to help you, or an entity or a resource or whatever that wants to help you. So anyway, be hydrated, stay hydrated, do things to support your electrolyte balance, do things for your, emotions, feeling your feels, all of the things, do things to get grounded, get in touch with nature, use nature, use, oils, use teas, use all of these things that can ground you, root vegetables, potatoes, those sorts of things to get grounded. You're gonna need it. This Pisces season offers 0 in the way of being grounded. It offers nothing. The only thing that we have the only things that we have in earth signs is Uranus and Taurus, which is far from being grounded, and the South Node in Virgo, which is about letting go of material things, right? And daily routines. Like, it's upsetting the status quo, right? You don't have a lot of help being grounded. You're going to have to do it yourself. And I feel like that's what's the harsh part about this Pisces season, is that the people who cannot do these things, who refuse to learn how to practice yoga, who refuse to learn meditation, who refuse to get in touch with nature because they're so clingy to their technology or whatever it is, or then they're unwilling to try spiritual things. By that, spiritual, by that I mean like these things I consider all spiritual: getting grounded, all of those things, using essential oils, drinking the appropriate teas, eating the appropriate foods. To me, these are all spiritual because we are a physical being, or we are a spiritual, multidimensional being having a physical human experience. And so, but I think so many people are unwilling to acknowledge and recognize that. And that's where that's what's going to get them in trouble ultimately. Because this Pisces season could really carry you away if you let it. All right, we got the Angel Tarot. I feel like I'm going to get a little more tough love. Oops. A little more tough love coming on board as I continue writing my book and whatnot. I may even come up with a workshop coming up soon. Would love to know in the comments. This is where your comments would be really helpful, is that if you want to do more work with me by way of like one-to-one, but if you don't want to do one-to-one, like, would a workshop be something that you would do? because there's a lot that I have that I would love to offer. And I'll admit, I don't see enough engaged. This is where I'm having a crisis with myself, actually. So this is a cool thing to share. Um, I don't see enough engagement, comments, likes. I don't see enough, like, you know, people asking me questions that I would think that I could release something and put my energy into something and actually have it be a productive use of my time. So there's a lot of things that I would love to offer, workshops, programs, services, things like that. I don't see, and maybe it's because I'm the coach that doesn't allow you to be a victim. And most of these coach astrologers, I'm not saying all of them, because not all of them, but many of them just allow you to sit in your victim story. I don't do that. I don't do that. So maybe that's why I'm less popular. I don't know. But my point is that this is where I'm having a crisis of my own, is that I don't know where the fuck to take my work. I've been on YouTube for a long time. I've been on social media a long time. I've created programs, I've created services, and none of which has really gotten me a steady flow of people being interested in what I have to offer. You guys, I have so much to offer. And I don't know how to, I've done Patreon before. So yeah, I don't know. But let me know if you guys would love like some kind of a workshop, a boot camp, like a spiritual boot camp, um, to really get for real with your spiritual development, your spiritual practices. Let me know what you think. All right, we have the sun. Well, that's interesting. And this is Archangel Uriel, Uriel. You can Google or internet search for Uriel. And the message on the card says happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success. And then have confidence in yourself. Okay. I actually love this. It seems like it's very counter the actual astrology, but I think that this is because I'm having a lighting issue. That's no surprise, right? I think that's better. I like this because it's like asking you to almost like be your own sunshine, but it's also like there's a lot of water. So there is a lot of intuitive. This is where it's like you're going to have to tune into your sacral chakra, your solar plexus chakras, and get them really in tune and in alignment and unbalanced, because that's the only way you're going to become your own sunshine, right? I just keep thinking, like, you scroll through social media and like everybody is complaining about everything right now. Quit it. Quit it. Let things unravel. It's good. I know it's causing a lot of issues in people's personal lives. I'm not naive to that. And like things have to unravel sometimes and it looks really ugly and you always need a plan B, right? Think about every entrepreneur that we know, right? Hershey went, I think Hershey was the one who went bankrupt like 6 or 7 times. Like most entrepreneurs have been bankrupt multiple times before they have a successful go at it, right? I've been building for over 12 years now, and I'm still not able to solely support myself by doing what I do, even though like I know my stuff is good. I know my work is good. And this is where I am. And oddly enough, the South Node is a nodal opposition for me. So, what am I doing? Yes, I'm up to some stuff, so don't worry. But do you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you willing to do to create the life that you actually want? Starts with clearing your sacral and your solar plexus chakras and getting in tune, your physical body in tune to be able to engage, receive the messages. This is a lot of water in the chart. There's going to probably be some kind of download, some kind of intuitive nudge, some kind of message through the conduits. And how willing are you to receive it? So, I did pull out the self-care oracle because I felt like this Pisces season, it being the health axis, Pisces Virgo being the health axis, I felt like it was appropriate to talk more about self-care this month than I normally do. I know I do wellness astrology, but anyway, all right, let's get this card because I'm sure this video is getting long, but all right, what we got? We have rest. Yeah. Everything's sitting still. Everything is not in favorable positions. It doesn't mean that there is no energy to work with, but you've got Mars, you've got everything sitting still, right? Everything's either sitting still or stationed, or it's in a not so favorable position. So the 18th and 19th, don't push yourself too hard. Don't overdo, don't overcommit, all of those things. In fact, throughout the entire Pisces season, I would not overcommit because we have a lunar eclipse on that south node in mid-March. So don't overcommit, don't overbook yourself, don't sign yourself up for too much. Get slow, get silent, get quiet, and hear what you're being guided to do. So, and if you don't understand how to feel your own guidance system, that'd be a good reason to hire me, is so that we can slow you down and really help you to tune in to what guidance you're being shown. So anyway, all right, drop me comments. Would a workshop be helpful? Would it be something that you would invest your time and your money into? Because I want to know. Okay, thanks guys. I'll talk to you on the next video.